Hello, regardless of your location or current time. I'm asking you to set everything aside momentarily because what I'm about to reveal might fundamentally alter your movement, your physical sensation, and your existence for decades ahead. Here's something your healthcare provider has likely never communicated to you explicitly. Your legs aren't declining simply because you accumulate more birthday years. Your legs are weakening because nobody ever instructed you on protecting them at the cellular level. Those represent two entirely separate problems. One appears unavoidable through aging, the other is a preventable mistake. I'm Dr. William Lee, and today I'm going to demonstrate 6 particular foods ranked from beneficial to remarkable that can rebuild your leg muscles, regenerate tissue you've written off as irretrievable, and restore the kind of assured, balanced movement you haven't experienced for a considerable time. Yet first, I want to mention a statistic that genuinely disturbed me when I initially encountered it. A 6-year investigation published in the British Medical Journal examined 4,500 plus individuals aged 60 and above. Adults who suffered notable upper thigh and calf muscle deterioration faced doubled likelihood of experiencing a fall requiring emergency care and significantly heightened probability of requiring assistance for fundamental daily activities. That's not a marginal distinction. That's the difference between independently traversing to your driveway versus requiring someone to propel your wheelchair there. I'll be direct. The highest ranked food on my list appears so ordinary and costs so little that you could purchase it anywhere right now. Simultaneously, an entire generation of physicians instructed you to consume less of it. Specialists at one of Earth's most prestigious research institutions currently hypothesize it represents the single strongest protective element for deteriorating muscle tissue. I'm preserving it for the conclusion because once you grasp its internal workings, you'll reconsider everything in your pantry. First, share your thoughts in the comments section. Tell me your current age and what's been happening with your physical capabilities. Perhaps climbing stairs has become difficult. Perhaps you've noticed yourself catching yourself on railings. Perhaps standing requires multiple attempts instead of one fluid motion. I genuinely read every response shared, and your personal account might reach someone else at precisely the instant they need to encounter this content. Let's proceed. Our ranking goes from 6 to 1, advancing from helpful to exceptional. Before we continue with the complete food system, I want to share something that's genuinely transforming how people approach their wellness journey. I've developed a detailed resource called Stand Strong, the doctor's fall-proof method for life after 70. It's specifically created to help you strengthen your lower body, develop superior balance, increase your everyday mobility, meaningfully decrease fall incidence, and maintain complete independence across many future years. This guide includes detailed movement protocols and structured daily routines that genuinely cannot be adequately presented in a single video. Today's content highlights the nutritional fundamentals, while the ebook delivers your comprehensive personalized approach for sustainable strength. You can obtain it using the link positioned in my pinned comment or directly in the video description. Thousands already have made this investment in their mobility and independence, establishing it as the primary resource for people over 60 dedicated to remaining strong and self-reliant. Now let's explore the science. Number 6 addresses something nearly every individual I encounter has misunderstood throughout their entire existence. Eggs. You've received cautionary messages your whole life. Cholesterol elevates. Heart performance suffers. Discard the eggs. Let me tell you directly, grounded in comprehensive current research, that this guidance has caused more harm to aging individuals than virtually any other dietary suggestion across the previous 50 years. Eggs contain extraordinary concentrations of leucine, an amino acid functioning as the activation trigger for muscle recovery. Envision leucine as your body's signal to initiate muscle reconstruction. Reaching 60 brings what researchers label anabolic resistance. Muscles become less responsive. They dismiss ordinary protein messages that worked throughout your younger decades. They demand intensified signals. Leucine delivers exactly that intensity. A pair of complete eggs supplies roughly 1.6 grams. Investigation from University of Texas Medical Branch demonstrated this quantity successfully initiates muscle building even in especially unresponsive older tissue. What renders eggs exceptional involves the yolk itself, the component you are instructed to eliminate. It harbors choline, vitamin D, and phosphatidylcholine. That final element maintains your muscle cell boundaries. With advancing age, these boundaries deteriorate like worn weather stripping around old windows. Your yolk serves as the restoration specialist for this degradation. Discarding it resembles repainting a house while demolishing its structural supports. My patient Richard, 71, from Tampa, Florida, consulted me after his second significant stumble in 3 weeks. He questioned whether his staircase remained safe for him. He'd exclusively consumed egg whites for 9 years. Reintroducing 3 complete eggs each morning, prepared with minimal heat in olive oil, made the difference. Within 7 weeks, he'd managed his complete staircase without hesitation every morning. That's what leucine combined with choline and vitamin D accomplishes in practice. Prepare 2 to 3 complete eggs during morning hours. Keep heating gentle and minimal. Accompany with olive oil or avocado, which facilitates absorption of the yolk's fat-dependent nutrients. Number 5 represents a genuinely underappreciated muscle-supporting nutritional champion in senior wellness circles: sardines. The operative substances are EPA and DHA, omega-3 compounds, functioning as your internal inflammation suppression system. Beyond your mid-50s, your system manufactures escalating quantities of inflammatory signaling molecules designated cytokines and prostaglandins. Picture this as persistent minimal burning occurring throughout your muscle architecture continuously, perpetually. Across years and decades, this deteriorates muscle fibers, ravages connection tissues, and damages signaling pathways governing leg control. EPA and DHA eliminate this fire's fuel source. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition examined 126+ people beyond 60 for 6 months. Participants obtaining omega-3 quantities matching roughly 3 weekly servings of smaller fatty fish varieties demonstrated measurable lower body strengthening and substantial inflammatory reduction. Yet, sardines offer a secondary characteristic receiving insufficient consideration. One 3-ounce serving provides approximately 370 international units of vitamin D. 3. The activated version, your system manufactures progressively less of beyond 65. Vitamin D deficiency demonstrates direct association with muscle diminishment, equilibrium complications, and accelerated muscle wasting. Sardines are consumed intact, including skeletons, delivering calcium in a remarkably bioavailable configuration. My patient Patricia, 68, from Atlanta, Georgia, experienced painful nighttime muscle tightness in both legs that made movement feel constricted. Her vitamin D concentrations registered substantially beneath optimal ranges. Incorporating sardines 3 times weekly, combined with entire grain bread and olive oil, became her strategy. Within 10 weeks, nighttime discomfort disappeared completely, and physical assessments demonstrated her leg function resembled someone 15 years younger. Consume sardines multiple times throughout the week. Select varieties preserved in olive oil. Include the skeletal structures. Number 4 remains almost entirely overlooked within muscle-building nutritional discussions: orange sweet potatoes. When contemplating leg rehabilitation, emphasis typically centers on protein sources. That's accurate. However, protein lacking appropriate mineral assistance resembles assembling a team of builders without delivery of construction supplies. Orange sweet potatoes provide those supplies. A single medium-sized roasted specimen contains roughly 540 milligrams of potassium, a crucial element for every muscular action throughout your body. Each leg extension, each forward stride involves potassium ions flowing throughout muscle membranes, orchestrating movement. Insufficient potassium, commonly deficient in individuals over 60, doesn't merely create heaviness. Your muscles literally lose force-generating capacity. However, orange sweet potatoes contribute something supplementary. They constitute among the richest food sources of beta-carotene, which your system transforms into vitamin A. Investigation conducted at Texas University revealed that enhanced beta-carotene consumption in adults beyond 65 connected with diminished cellular destruction in skeletal tissue. Conceptualize cellular destruction similarly to rust accumulating on equipment. Machinery persists operating, but components grind harder and disintegrate quicker. Beta-carotene functions as your oxidation protection, not enlarging your muscle, but maintaining cleaner operation and extended functionality. My patient Samuel, 74, previously a school bus operator from Dallas, Texas, presented with uncontrollable leg trembling whenever standing stationary for extended periods. Remaining still at checkout counters caused considerable embarrassment. His nutritional approach emphasized proteins, yet lacked potassium-containing complete foods. Adding one roasted specimen to his midday meal 5 days weekly, prepared with olive oil, transformed everything. Within 9 weeks, trembling vanished. He remained stationary at a hardware store for 30 minutes without experiencing any shaking whatsoever. He contacted me from the parking area, expressing amazement. Preparation method matters. Roast at 400 degrees for approximately 45 to 50 minutes. Boiling transfers potassium into cooking liquid you subsequently discard. Combine with modest fat quantities to optimize beta-carotene utilization. At this particular position, between item 4 and item 3, I want to request something. Should anything I've shared up to this point provided fresh insight, please activate the appreciation function right now. It requires minimal effort, yet it communicates to the content distribution system to present this information to additional people across 60 who haven't yet discovered it. Additionally, if you haven't selected the subscription option, activate it immediately. I consistently provide scientifically grounded, practical wellness guidance, explicitly tailored for mature individuals determined to maintain independence and capability. A single action might represent your most advantageous health choice this entire day. Now we're entering genuinely significant territory. Number 3, full-fat Greek yogurt. Complete fat Greek yogurt represents one of the most underestimated muscle reconstruction instruments obtainable for anyone beyond 60, yet nearly everybody implements it incorrectly. One serving supplies between 17 and 20 grams of excellent quality protein. Yet its genuine power involves the amino acid configuration. It encompasses all 3 branched-chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, in remarkably absorbable forms. These amino acids don't wander aimlessly through your digestion looking for direction. They travel immediately toward muscle architecture with negligible inefficiency. Yet, Greek yogurt's positioning this high involves something beyond protein composition. It concerns something specialists currently designate the intestinal-muscle interaction. Investigation originating from University of Copenhagen discovered that variety within gut bacterial populations in older individuals directly corresponded with muscle quantity, gripping capability, and ambulatory velocity. Your digestive system doesn't merely break down sustenance. It determines what portion of consumed nutrition your muscles ultimately obtain. Beyond 65, your bacterial ecosystem becomes less varied and operates with decreased effectiveness extracting nourishment. Fermented options like Greek yogurt reestablish this biological variety. Imagine replanting a garden overwhelmed by invasive vegetation. My patient, Rebecca, 69, from Phoenix, Arizona, consumed protein beverages for 24 months without observable leg improvements. Her rehabilitation specialist was confused. Bacterial analysis indicated significantly compromised intestinal health. Substituting beverages with 2 serving portions of unsweetened full-fat Greek yogurt daily, one at morning and one within 30 minutes following afternoon exercise, transformed results. 12 weeks afterward, her leg pressing strength increased by approximately one-third. Identical movements, identical supervision, distinct nutritional approach. Incorporate Greek yogurt in 30 to 45-minute windows following any physical activity, regardless of intensity. Incorporate ground flax for additional omega-3s. Consistently choose unsweetened full-fat formulations. Reduced fat alternatives substitute fat content with sugar, creating exactly the inflammation you're attempting to minimize. Number 2 involves something I referenced earlier that probably sounds surprising. This is it. Beetroots. I comprehend your hesitation. Beets lack appearance of muscle-supporting nutrition. However, beetroot investigation regarding performance in aging adults has grown remarkably persuasive that prestigious exercise science centers now incorporate beet-derived materials in recovery approaches for aging athletes. This represents advanced exercise science directed toward aging bodies, not traditional remedies. The operative component, dietary nitrates. Beets concentrate these roughly 3 to 4 times more densely per unit than any leafy alternative. One standard beetroot delivers approximately 300 milligrams of dietary nitrates. Upon reaching an oxygen-diminished muscle environment, these nitrates transform into nitric oxide remarkably effectively. The consequence: rapid blood vessel expansion flooding your legs with oxygen and substances your aging vascular system independently cannot facilitate at the same level. Investigation from Wake Forest University examined older individuals who consumed beetroot juice, equivalent to approximately 2 standard beets, before mild exercise. Results demonstrated a 38% amplification in circulatory flow toward brain structures managing movement control. That's accurately stated. Beets didn't exclusively strengthen legs. They improved your brain's leg control capacity. For individuals concerned about instability, loss of balance, or the expanding separation between what your neurological system directs and what your legs execute, that's truly remarkable. My patient Michelle, 66, from Charlotte, North Carolina, received specialist assessments indicating declining equilibrium and persistent leg exhaustion were inevitable aging effects. She'd currently purchased a mobility device online. Introducing 2 roasted specimens to her midday meal 4 days weekly, combined with brief daily movement, changed everything. Within 14 weeks, she deferred the purchase. She resumed gardening, maintained independent standing, walked her canine companion at standard distance, and returned fully. She forwarded me an image from her garden. I maintain it prominently displayed. Preparation approach: roast at 400 degrees, spanning 45 to 60 minutes. Alternatively, combine uncooked specimens within beverage preparations with citrus because the vitamin C enhances nitrate conversion effectiveness. Prevent extended boiling. Nitrates transfer into cooking liquid, subsequently discarded. And finally, number 1, the food I mentioned during my opening moments. The nutritional item that specialists at an internationally recognized research center hypothesize represents possibly the most protective element for human muscle preservation beyond 60. The food that experienced restrictions and removal from aging adults' nutrition based on scientific conclusions subsequently contradicted. Number 1, premium quality olive oil. Remain engaged because my explanation will reshape your comprehension of fats, inflammatory responses, and what genuinely preserves leg strength throughout aging. Premium olive oil contains a polyphenol identified as oleuropein, functioning within your system nearly identically to ibuprofen. Equivalent operating mechanism: it suppresses equivalent inflammatory controlling enzymes, COX-1 and COX-2, that pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories target. The distinction: oleuropein accomplishes this without the kidney complications, gastrointestinal damage, and cardiac dangers accumulating from extended pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory therapy. Yet muscle particular advantages surpass inflammation regulation. A significant European clinical investigation examined over 800 individuals aged 65 and above across 3 years. Participants ingesting no less than 4 tablespoons of premium olive oil daily experienced substantially diminished muscle wasting rates compared with those consuming it infrequently. The decrease surpassed 1/3, exclusively from olive oil. Not movement, not additional products, not pharmaceuticals. Here's the biological process. Premium olive oil's polyphenols, exceeding 30 distinct varieties, stimulate what scientists designate the mTOR signaling pathway within muscle architecture. mTOR represents your muscle-building master mechanism, equivalent pathway that leucine and strength training activate. These polyphenols engage that switch independently. They don't require movement. They interact with muscle cells immediately. Approaching 70, your system loses approximately 40% of mTOR reactivity. The machinery transforming protein into muscle operates at diminished effectiveness. Premium olive oil partially recovers that mechanism. Conceptualize it like replacing a faulty thermostat. The equipment existed continuously. The thermostat simply discontinued requesting warmth. Additionally, hydroxyrosol, an additional polyphenol, safeguards mitochondrial genetic material against cellular harm. Your mitochondria function as power generators within muscle structures. Aging causes mitochondrial genetic mistakes like repeatedly photocopying an original. Each reproduction deteriorates quality. Hydroxyrosol decelerates that degradation by neutralizing destructive molecules generating the deterioration initially. My patient James, 78, previously coached football from Nashville, Tennessee, couldn't traverse a single block without resting in approximately 2 years. His musculature, he shared, had essentially stopped responding. He'd rigorously followed reduced fat approaches for over 25 years. Incorporating 4 tablespoons of premium olive oil daily, 2 at breakfast with eggs, 2 at midday with vegetables, initiated transformation. Without additional modifications during the initial 5 weeks, following 8 weeks, he traversed 3 blocks without stopping. At week 16, he returned to the athletic facility where he previously coached, completing gradual circuits and waving to competing athletes. He forwarded a photo taken from the midfield area. I display it on my office wall. 4 tablespoons represents the scientifically supported quantity. Utilize as your primary cooking medium for reduced and moderate temperatures. Distribute it on eggs, vegetables, seafood, and legumes, coordinating it with the fat-soluble nutrients from the other 5 foods on our listing. This coordination isn't coincidental. These 6 substances operate as an interconnected framework. Combining them consistently produces cumulative advantages for leg stability, inflammatory responses, energy production, and daily functions substantially surpassing what individual foods accomplish independently. Purchase premium olive oil within opaque containers. Examine for collection dates beyond expiration marks. Polyphenol amounts diminish from illumination and extended storage. Fresh oil serves medicinal purpose. Markedly aged budget category transparent bottled oil simply provides cooking capability. Let me conclude meaningfully because I want you to depart here not merely acquiring information but prepared to execute change. You weren't constructed to become passive within your existence. You weren't designed to remain indoors while your family members enjoy outside activities. You weren't meant to decline invitations, avoid movement, or reorganize your entire life according to worries about physical capability. That worry doesn't constitute your permanent fate. It represents a communication that your physical framework has lacked something essential. Today, we've identified it. Muscle architecture preserves capacity for building and fixing well into your 9th life decade. Your body desires reconstruction. It's been anticipating the components. Your responsibility, commencing with your subsequent consumption, involves delivering them. eggs, sardines, an orange sweet potato, Greek yogurt, roasted beetroots, 4 tablespoons of excellent quality premium olive oil. These items exist in retail establishments worldwide. Combined, they reconstruct something you perhaps already surrendered as unrecoverable. Should you remain unsubscribed, activate it immediately. I consistently supply research-grounded practical wellness information specifically for individuals convinced their optimal years remain forthcoming. Contribute your perspective. Communicate which food you're introducing initially. Communicate your personal journey because this channel exists specifically for you. I read every contribution. Until our subsequent meeting, sustain excellent nutrition, maintain consistent movement, and continuously maintain conviction that your most formidable capabilities remain ahead.